Alright, so what happens during an ayahuasca ceremony? Now, there's three phases of a process with plant medicine. The first phase is before the dieta, the preparation. The second one is the middle, what happens during the ceremony. The third one is post. It is integration. It is what you do with what happened. First of all, if the place that you're going to only focuses on what they do with you when you're there, I invite you to reevaluate. You want a place that is going to support you in preparing properly, answering your questions. Ideally, they want you to prepare at least 2-3 weeks, month in advance, if not more. And a place that is going to extend an invitation for integration, at least a conversation, a few conversations, or method, a system to help you integrate what you lived. With that being said, what happens during ceremony is the topic of this video. The first thing that happens when people come into our land, keep in mind that from medicine house to medicine house it changes, from culture to culture, in different traditions this may shift. So I speak from the way that shamans here in Colombia, from the Inca tradition, do things. The first step when you come is a step of cleansing and purification, which is done often through tobacco water. In the longer retreats, you drink a few liters of warm tobacco water, which is a very heavy vomitive, and if not done carefully can be quite toxic for the body. So it must be done under adult supervision. This is to cleanse our bodies, right? Most often we use bitter herbs and sweet herbs, and there's these little capsules made out of stone where a single person goes and sits down, and they will inhale the vapors from bitter herbs that have been cooking in a pot or on the fire, right? They smell very good, it's very nice, it's like a private sauna, but with nice smells. You come out and you shower yourself with sweet herbs, which is a way of harmonizing the body. Bitter herbs cleanse your system, cleanse your aura, your energies, and the sweet ones harmonize. This will allow you to go into ceremony in a clean way. It also allows for all the participants to kind of lose and release the excess baggage, the ecstatic they carry from the city, from their countries, from their work situations, so that when we sit or when we enter the temple, we're all in a good note, right? Right before entering the temple, copal or different incense, smudging herbs or tree resins are used for a final cleansing of the system. This is before. Now, in the temple, during ceremony, the first thing that will happen once you're ready is the shaman will conjure the medicine. There will be some chanting, some ikaros, which means calling of the spirit, some mantras that are chanted to awaken the power of the plant within the brew. Different chanting is used depending on the strength and the power that the shaman wants the medicine to have. And you will notice there's sometimes that the ikaros are longer and different, and you know that that night is going to be powerful, and sometimes it's softer. Once this is done, in order, people stand up, walk up to the altar, and receive a cup of medicine. The shaman will usually look at you and assess how much to give you. Often, for safety, if it's your first time, you'll be given a little bit so that he can assess how you react with the medicine, how the medicine reacts to you. And then if you need more throughout the night, you can always come back up an hour later and ask for another cup. However, you drink your cup, you go back into your spots, and then you sit down. It takes 20 minutes to an hour for it to start kicking in. It depends on how sensitive you are. If you're very sensitive, from the moment you drink it, you can see that the quality of your consciousness and your energy shifts. There's people for whom the medicine becomes visible or evident in their system only once the trip becomes very strong and overwhelming and they're having visions and visuals. So this leads us to the next stage, which is ayahuasca is a brew of high energy and high consciousness. And our body is usually low energy and lower consciousness than ayahuasca. So the first thing that it has to do is raise our frequency to be able to show us the things that it has in store for us. To release lower frequencies, we have to purge out the things that are keeping us dense, which is usually from food, from emotions, from things we have lived, things we have consumed through our mind, through our ears, through our eyes, through our mouth. So For most people, it's a process of purging. You start vomiting. How violently depends on how well or how poorly you prepared. As you're purging, sometimes you will see in your bucket, or you will have a vision of what it is that you are releasing. You may remember things from your childhood that you had forgotten. You may see the piece of chicken that you ate 2 days before ceremony because you thought it was not a big deal. The ice cream you had a week ago, and you will start seeing things that do not serve your system. Now, once your system is clean and your frequency can raise without so much density, the vision, the lesson, the teaching, the mystical experience begins. And this can last from 3 to 6 hours. Depends on your intention, depends on the container, the group, the shaman. But you will be taking a journey that is very personal and very unique, also very different every time. And through this journey, you will have deeper clarity, heal, let go around things that are weighing heavy on you. You will understand the nature of who you are, of reality, of the source of creation. You also understand the nature of that which weighs heavy on you, that which overwhelms you. Confusion, the grief, the sadness, the pain. Ayahuasca is a very personal teacher, and it will teach it, and it will teach you in a way that you can understand and keep the learning. Now, during the ceremony, the shaman will start saying mantras or singing with the harmonica. They have a leaf rattle, they have a guitar, Colombian shamans, and they will sing music that they deem appropriate. It's called medicine music, and the music will come to move more energies. Sometimes you may be chilling, relaxed, thinking that your night already ended, and the shaman starts singing, and suddenly your trip begins again, and you start having new visions and vomiting again. Or maybe you feel that you're going crazy and losing your mind, and the shaman starts singing a song, and everybody starts to calm down. It can be quite magical. Um, and usually the ceremony starts at midnight and it will end at sunrise. The closer to sunrise, usually the more that the shaman and the musicians play more louder, more songs of celebration, of forgiveness, of love, of joy. And then in the morning, there's a closing of the circle, a closing of the ceremony, which happens by taking your bucket, which is your best friend, your bucket with your vomit, you release, and you bring it back into nature, to a specific spot where you give thanks to nature for cleansing that for you. Clean your bucket, you come back, there's a word circle, and usually people go to sleep. You can integrate, you can share, you can talk with the shaman. If it's a retreat, most people are very sleepy, so it's time to rest and to prepare for the ceremonies from the next days. If it was a single ceremony, which we don't do, but some places in some medicine houses, they accept people for just one night, then they'll do a cleansing of the energies, a final closure, hopefully, and you will be sent home. So these are the steps of an ayahuasca ceremony. There's the preparation dieta, the during ceremonial process, and integration. And during the ceremony, there's a period of cleansing and purification of your energies. Then there's a period where you drink ayahuasca and you go through your own inner process of purging and learning. And then there's a part where there is music, there's celebration, there's healing. The music can sometimes be even more powerful than the medicine itself. And finally, you close down. You ground the energies, you come back to yourself, you get grounded once again. You release everything and anything that does not serve you and anything that is not yours. And you can go on having learned, having lived your life. Ideally, in the medicine house that you choose to work with, they guide you around next steps. This is what you do after your ceremony. This is how you can integrate. This is how you can apply what you learn. And if not, maybe find a different medicine house, a different shaman or land that you want to work with. All right. If you have any questions, post them below. If you want to join one of our retreats in Colombia, check the link. I am not the shaman. I assist sometimes. I am more of a bridge, someone whose life was really changed by this medicine and feels the need to educate people around what happens, how it happens, and demystify something that has been a little corrupted by the media. All right, so hope you're doing well.